All right. So in the prior video, I demonstrated how to use the VLOOKUP function to do this. And, we went from having a data set that kind of looked like this to begin with, where rank was our leftmost column, and we actually needed it to be league because that was the value that was being looked up. In this one, I'm going to demonstrate how to use a different approach where we actually don't have to make any real changes to the data. We just need to kind of go in and get rid of our filters and then, select the information and format it as a table. So that's the big step that we're going to take on our data before we jump into this next one. And in the prior one, we did in, copy, paste, insert, delete columns to get from it looking like this with rank as the first column to it looking like this with league as the first column. Okay, so the first set of data that I am going to do this on is December. So I've got some filters here. I'm going to unfilter them. I have already done this format as a table. So I'm going to go ahead in here to my cell and I'm going to tell it that index. Okay, so index returns a value or reference of the cell at the intersection of a particular row and column in a given range. Okay, what that basically means is that I'm going to tell it within this column of information, I want you to pull the value where the row, also my specified column, has the same name as the one here. Okay. So I will do index. I'm going to go ahead and go into my array of interest, which is rank. Okay. And then I'm going to use the match function here, okay, to improve what index can do. Okay. So I'll say match this value from this range. Okay. Right here. I want it to be an exact match. Instead of true or false, I'm going to use 0 or 1 here. Okay, and then I'm going to close out my parentheses and see what happens. Hit return, and it looks like it pulled a value. I'm going to double click and cascade this, and then I'm going to go ahead and check. So the 10th roller derbies should be 10th mountain roller dolls. It should be 134th in ranking in December in 2017. So I'm going to come in here, and I can't actually do that immediately. But because I formatted my data as a table already, I can click on my sort. Okay, I click sort and it gives me this. I'm going to say, let's do it by league name, A to Z, so I can really quickly visually check. There we go. It reformatted all the data for me. And here's my 10th Mountain Roller Dolls, 134th in position. Okay. So we have that option. Instead of using VLOOKUP, we can we can utilize index with a nested match function to pull the data that we want across multiple spreadsheets. Okay. So we would go through and complete this for each of them, again. So index, I'm in February 2018. I want to know the rank, and I want you to match it to this guy based on the league names here. Okay, make sure that you match it exactly, and that's it. All right, so that's the process you'll go through. Again, you can use VLOOKUP if you choose to. It does require that reformatting of data, which is fine. I'll do that one again really quickly for March. So if I were to come into March here, I'm going to go ahead and remove my filters real quick. I'm going to select this column of data. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to select on column A, and I'm going to insert those copy cells. It'll automatically do it to the left. I'm going to go ahead and delete this column. I'll then format this as a table. Okay. And as the last step, I will make sure that this is sorted in the same order as this. So that is required in order for VLOOKUP to work. Let's see if this will work for us. Okay, and this one again, we're doing it slightly differently. We start here with our value of reference that we want to look up. Okay, we tell it where it is. Okay, I'm only going to give it the 2 columns of interest here again, but I could select this entire range if I wanted, because my most important step is to give it the index column, which is 2 that I'm looking for. Okay, here I use true false if I want an approximate or exact match, and I hit return. Okay, and then I double check through here, make sure everything came in. And I can spot check if I want, or I can, trust the machine. Totally up to me. All right. So these are 2 different ways to get quickly this reference data. I'm going to mix and match them in here again. So I'll do April, and I want rank, and I want you to match it. What's this? Okay. From this column is your index. So if you find the value from that cell that I told it to look in this one, then give me the rank for it. That's what I'm telling it to do. Oh, I've entered too many arguments. Oh, I have too many commas right here. Here we go. Okay. Now it looks like they jumped up in ranking really fast right here. All right. So index, the value from range, or from rank. Okay. Match it to my league. And make sure the match is exact. All right. So that is how we get to the space where our data is now ready for us to calculate some of the trends that we are being requested to do. And I am going to pause this video, and I will start a fresh one in order to do that, so that these are in bite-sized chunks. Okay. So I've now completed this. Again, I've used VLOOKUP in some instances, which required me to reformat the data in a very specific way. And I've used indexed in others, which doesn't require the same restructuring of information. It utilizes the Excel functions in a way that you can effectively use it on any unsorted data set.